Is This Working? The Jobs We Do, Told by the People Who Do Them, by Charlie Colenutt. Read by the author Charlie Colenutt, Frankie Porter, and Alan Medcroft.
Introduction. Between 2021 and 2023, I talked to 100 strangers from all walks of life about their jobs. They talked to me in coffee shops and chain pubs and kitchens and front rooms, on the phone and by video call. We spoke about what work meant to them. What did they do for a living? Why did they do it? And did they like it? The stories in this audiobook are taken from those conversations. Sometimes the person sitting opposite me spoke with a candour that turned a Wetherspoon's corner booth into a confessional. At other times, as was their right, the interviewees were reserved, protecting their true feelings about work through reliable deflections. They would speak to me as if they were in a job interview, hiding their memories beneath corporate jargon, that language of challenges faced and solutions found. Or they would tell me funny anecdotes instead of talking about themselves. Toolboxes screwed into floors, students caught with bongs made out of barrels. In finding people to talk to, I tried to pick interviewees who would together resemble a scale model of the British population. Fairly typical in the jobs that they did, fairly typical in the places that they lived, in their age, their gender, their immigration status and ethnicity. But as is so often the case, the scale model never looks quite the same as the real thing. When you miniaturize, you sacrifice detail. You take shortcuts. It is no different here. In the selection of 68 interviews that I have included, demographics and jobs are, by turns, overrepresented and underrepresented. Take comfort from the fact that this audiobook is not a work of social science. There is no empiricism to be found here. It's just people talking about their jobs. Nor is this audiobook a piece of journalism. I have no real idea about the truth of what my interviewees told me. These are unconfirmed reports from unreliable sources. To ask someone, as I often did, to tell me the story of your working life is to give that person freedom to choose a version of their life's work to tell. That freedom is double-edged. It makes the subject more relaxed, but it also leaves interview transcripts understandably marked by self-presentation and myth. Instead, if there is any firm truth to be found in these pages, it is in the way that these accounts of working life chime with the listener's own experiences of work. Before the strangers begin to talk, perhaps we should take a moment and put the conversations into context. What can we say in general terms about work in Britain? What does the scale model look like? There are things that we already know. We know, for instance, that the UK is a post-industrial society. The statistics say so. In 1970, some 8.6 million people from a population of 55 million were employed in the production sector, in manufacturing, resource extraction and utilities. By 2016, this had fallen to 3 million, out of a population of 65 million. The recent histories of once powerful British manufacturing interests also say so. In 1984, Imperial Chemical Industries, ICI, was the first British company to turn a profit of over £1 billion. At that time, it employed 130,000 people in the production of fertilizers, drugs, synthetic fabrics, solvents, plastics, paints, explosives, and just about every other industrial chemical that you can imagine, and many that you can't. Out of ICI's laboratories came perspex, beta blockers, and tens of thousands of other patents. However, by the mid-2000s, everything had changed. ICI had sold off its pharmaceuticals arm, many of its industrial chemical divisions, and its prized intellectual property. It used the proceeds of these sales to reposition itself as a fashionable maker of paints and perfumes. This did not work. In 2008, the conglomerate was broken up and sold, principally to Akzo Nobel, a Dutch chemicals group. Factory closures and thousands of redundancies followed. ICI's death and the 20 years of chemical asset sales that preceded it caused no great consternation or political crisis. By 2008, the selling off
Sample complete. Ready to continue?